Ma'am Maribel, tanong ko lang sa inyo, no? At this point, maybe most voters would have made up their minds already as to who to vote. So what pointers will you give them to make sure that those votes are actually counted on election day? What are the things that they have to keep in mind to make sure that their votes are counted?
Maybe a step back even before the votes are counted. Before the election, they have to make sure they are prepared with a list of those that they are going to be voting for.
Okay, so a list.
Oo, kailangan alam na nila kung sino yung
Hindi
iboboto
yung
nila.
pagdating doon, saka mag-iisip.
Oo, saka mag-iisip. Because it will
Yeah.
delay the process,
Yes.
the voting process. Secondly, we have maybe like 3 different kinds of voters. We have voters who are persons with disability, elderly, senior citizens. At the same time, those who are not non-PWD and non-senior citizens.
Yes.
Voters have to be extra courteous and look for persons with disability or senior citizens and women who are heavily pregnant who need assistance.
So be sensitive.
Be sensitive.
Yeah.
Be sensitive to the disability.
Yes.
It is something which is a challenge for persons with disability. I hope they will not mock or make fun of and joke
Lalo na
about
pag alam nila,
the
nakalaban
disability.
nila, no?
Oo, di ba?
Para magkaiba yung boto.
Lumalabas yung partisan colors.
Oo.
Yeah.
At the same time, they have to also, well, not only be courteous, but tell them, we have a voters assistance desk, PPSerV. They can bring or lead those voters who need assistance to our desk, and we can help them.
All right.
Thirdly, they can also look out for candidates who are bussing in
Oh yeah, that's important.
bussing in
Flying
voters. For
voters.
example, yung hakot system, that they would invite voters to ride their tricycle or their vehicle. And the voters, please do not be bussed or do not allow yourselves.
How do you spot them?
Well, some of them actually have vans which have candidates' names or posters. That's
Okay.
one. Secondly,
And what should they do if
What-
they find them?
I'm sorry?
What should they do if
pag may
they
napansin ka na
see,
ganon.
Pag may napansin ng
vans
ganon, kailangan sabihin sa COMELEC, sabihin sa authorities so that at least kung hindi talaga maiwasan that they will be
ano ng litrato?
Yung video kailangan. Hindi na
O,
usulat
video
natin.
pala.
Video pala.
That's
Kung
what
hindi
my phones are
It's
for.
true. That's what phones are for. Kung hindi talaga maiwasan, na sila ay hihahatid, huwag naman sa presinto because there's a certain limit.
Yes,
You
yes.
should not be a
Yeah.
certain meter.
Is it illegal for candidates to
is.
pick up and bring voters to the precincts?
Yeah.
To the precincts. But for example, if some of them, sasabihin nila, oh, this is actually our contribution to
Our
personal-
service.
Pag
A
public
service to
for
senior
example,
citizens.
Pag mahirap puntahan
yeah.
yung ano,
Oo.
can they say that
Kanina,
it's
yeah.
public service?
Kung it's a public service, at least hanggang sa gate, not in the precinct. They should not be even seen in the precinct.
Di ba may number of meters?
The candidates are not
na
supposed to be
They're not
campaigning.
supposed to be there. Barangay captains as well. That is what they say. It's a service to
Okay.
senior citizens. It's a service to the elderly. We would like to help them. But at this point, kung maiiwasan, if you can avoid
Alright.
being bussed or
Yeah.
picked up by candidates, please do that.
Fair
And then other things that we would like to remind the voters, no, please be there early. Voting time is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, if for
Ma'am, kasi
oh,
madalas ang medyo humahabol na kandidato pag medyo dehado siya, eh yung mga botante niya palalabasin niya ng o mamimili siya ng boto ng last minute kasi alam niyang medyo dehado siya. Diyan siya babawi eh. So sometimes you have a sudden rush of voters at the last hour. Kasi ano,
Paano niya malalaman
pag
na dehado siya?
tutunugan niya na mas malakas yung kabila, maghahabol siya ng vote buying. Sometimes that happens eh.
it happens, but the voter should also be reminded that actually the candidates will not be able to look at who you voted for unless and you're not allowed to take
So it's a
pictures
classic
of it.
take the money and vote according to your conscience.
Not even take the money, just say no. You know why? Because if the
Kasi sinasabi ng dati,
Si Cardinal
just
Sin
take the
yata
money,
yun eh.
but vote according to your
No.
conscience.
because the candidate has won over you. Pag tinanggap mo na yung pera niyan, ang kanyang pag-iisip nabili na kita di ba?
May utang na loob ka
May
na.
utang na loob ka na. So iwasan na lang, just say no.
There's also this principle na secret vote open count that a lot of people are not familiar with. When you vote, nobody's supposed to know who you're voting for.
Yes.
But when it's counting time, it should be out in the open.
Yes.
Diba? Which is why, I if I understand correctly, which is why pag lumabas yung resibo ng boto mo, you're not supposed to have it with you when you go out. You're supposed to
You're supposed to
Yes.
deposit it or leave
Yes.
it dun sa ano.
But
Surrender it.
before you fold it and put it in the box, please look at it. Ito ba ang binoto mo?
Yeah.
Kung if for example, you see that these are not the candidates you voted for, you make a statement. You're asked to write a statement, and then the the electoral board would take note of it.
The Board of
Yes, look at it.
Election Inspector. diba?
They used to be
BI.
called Board of Election Inspectors, BEI. They're now called Electoral Board.
Ganun ba yun?
Okay.
Hindi ko alam
The
yun.
EBs.
Electoral
So,
board.
you look at it. If it is the candidates that you voted for, then put it in the box.
So
But you're
yun.
not supposed to bring,
Yes, the receipt.
because then that's an election offense.
But in principle ba, when you file a protest na tingin mo hindi tumugma yung boto mo doon sa lumabas na resibo, is it even counted or recounted in principle? Kasi you're looking at what? Potentially 61 million
61
voters.
million voters, right? Correct.
I think it's after the fact, right? I mean, they will declare first and then...
Mahahabol pa ba yun in principle? O
In
wala
principle, actually, the voters
Kasi
do not
ito-transmit
complain.
na eh.
But if, for example, there are candidates who file election protests,
Yes.
sometimes they would ask us to open.
Yes,
na? That's a
yes.
complete recount of a particular precinct.
Yes,
That's-
that's an
yes.
after the fact.
After the fact.
Maghahabol
Yes.
talaga sila.
Maghahabol sila.
Right. Okay, so what about the filling up of the ballot?
Another
I mean,
fifth
what are the-
reminder, please shade it completely. Make it a full moon.
Kahit na 25% counted.
Yes, because I understand the machine can
Controversial.
recognize and will count it,
Yeah.
but make it a full shade, just so that you don't have any
No
doubts
doubts.
about who you voted for, and so that the machine will really count the full moon.
Yeah. And the number of candidates to vote for. If you exceed
Yeah. When you
12, for
overvote,
example,
And the sixth reminder is, you can undervote. For
But-
example, if there are
yes.
12 candidate seats, you can vote for 6, but do not overvote.
Yeah.
Beyond 12, the position itself will be nullified.
but the others pwede, di ba?
Pwede the others,
Yeah,
only
I
for that
see.
position. For example,
Okay.
Congress is only one,
Yes.
and you voted 1 for Congress, you voted 14 for the Senate,
Senate.
only the Senate position will
Invalid.
be
invalid.
invalid.
Okay, yeah, those are good reminders. And then, of course, erasures, the usual, di ba? And punitin yung balota or marumi yung balota. Does that disqualify the ballot? What do you think?
I would. The seventh reminder is that when the ballot is provided to you, the voters should look at it. Has it been tampered? Has it been torn or broken? If it has, give it back, and then you will be provided. And at the same time, it's something like, do not. If, for example, a PPCRV volunteer, for example, sees that the voter has already an indelible ink on the right
Yeah.
forefinger,
Yeah.
then that's already a sign that he has voted before, and so he can be
Yeah.
considered to be a flying voter.
Yeah.
So citizens and voters can take note of that. If there are anomalies, they can take photos and then submit to COMELEC. They can send the reports to us. We have what you call a command center in Pope Pius. We have call centers. You can call us at the same time and make a report, so that our diocesan coordinators, our volunteers can verify first if the report is correct and accurate before we do that, before we make a report to the Commission on Elections. And we collate all the reports and we submit it to COMELEC.
Now, voters are allowed to bring código. I think, in fact, they're even encouraged to
Yung
bring a
list
código.
nga, di ba?
Diba?
You can bring a list, right?
Sa mga ibang tao na hindi makapag-memorya siguro, pero maganda sana na wala na, no?
Wow,
Pero
mahirap
kung mahirap
memorize
yun, kasi alam mo, ang daming kandidato.
Baka sumobra ka talaga ng...
Baka
Oo,
susobra ka
Pag
pa.
doon ka
Kasi
pa.
syempre, di ba?
So I hope that the voters will be prepared with the list so that they do not delay the voting.
their minds.
In their minds. Secondly, be prepared for any eventuality. Make sure that you have water, you have food, and at the same time, be prepared for, I was going to say, disasters, earthquakes, or
yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
Make sure that
absolutely.
you know where the evacuation centers are. You have a go bag. I think that's very basic and,
Yeah.
and normal. At the same time, be prepared for being very alert if there is vote buying that happens. Please document it. Be very alert and courteous to persons and voters who need it. persons with disability, senior citizens, and the elderly, and the heavily pregnant women. At the same time, pray.
Yes.
Pagdasal muna bago bumoto. I think that's very important.
Yes, I agree.
Because if we keep making the same mistake, that's no longer a mistake. May problema na. You made a mistake. If theoretically the voters made a mistake, you have the following election season to rectify the mistake. So please pray, discern, and making sure that your candidate passes the character, kakayahan at katapatan parameters.
Ikaw magaling sumayaw. Oh.